I'm going to expand upon the methods that I present here for dealing with repressed negativity. I'm going to cover two books that I read back in the early 90s, and I actually met the authors from these books. One was like, I don't remember the exact title. It was like Recreate Yourself in the Core of Your Beingness. The other one was like Spiritual Boot Camp. Now, the one guy that had written the Spiritual Boot Camp, he did have some type of practice, meditation group or something along that order here in the Valley. And if he's still around and wants to make a video with me, yeah, I'd want to talk to him and find out exactly what type of video we could make. Now, the one lady that had the authors, she had a radio talk show where she would interview these authors, and she had a bookstore. It was Jan Ross. Now, if she's gone, she had two twin daughters, hey, if her twin daughters are still around, they did have a bookstore over in Glendale somewhere, but I don't know if it's still around or not. I think it was Jan Ross Books, but I may be wrong on that. Maybe the name of one of the twin daughters. Hey, if one of you chicks want to make a video with me, again, we'd want to sit down and figure out exactly what type of video that we want to make. The best way to present this type of thing. Now, the methods were in these books, and not exactly the methods that I present here. I've kind of modified them, but one of the authors had said that's probably what you'll do. You probably play around with this method and come up with your own ideas on this. Now, like I said, that's exactly what I've done. Now, let me give you the basic idea behind these methods. Now, we all create our own reality, for good, for bad, consciously, subconsciously. Now, if you have a lot of repressed subconscious stuff, it's going to come back and manifest itself in a bad way. Now, let me give you an example of a third author that had written in some of his books. Now, it's Dick Sutphin. Now, the example that I remember from one of his books, now, it's members of the people that had been in a previous lifetime. Yeah, I'm going to touch on reincarnation. I'm going to get to something here in a few minutes on reincarnation. But let's say that you had been a member of the Donner Party in a previous lifetime, and you had the guilt of turning to cannibalism to survive, and that you're going to carry that guilt, forward into your current lifetime. Now, that's and some of these people that Dick Sutphin had regressed to previous lifetimes had manifested in eating disorders. Well, both skinny and fat people had been not everyone that has a eating disorder had been a member of the Donner Party, but that is one. They had been members of the Donner Party, and that had manifested itself in that way. Now, let me get to reincarnation. Now, there are some of us New Agers that go back to the Bible. Now, there are some quotes that Jesus had made that can be interpreted that Jesus had taught and believed in reincarnation, but it was taken out of the vast majority of what he taught had been taken out of the Bible at the request of Constantine at the Council of Nicaea, was like 326 AD, something like that. Now, maybe a few people argue with me, and fine, you have a title if you beliefs, but I personally believe that Jesus had believed in and taught reincarnation, and it was taken out of the Bible. Now, let me get back to some of these methods. Now, there's a quote from one of the authors. It goes back to creating your own reality. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was life is an experiment in insanity conducted by scientists that are true. Hang on. Life is an experiment in insanity conducted by scientists that are truly mad and ignore the given result. That is a quote from that you're creating your own reality subconsciously, unknowing it, and that you ignore what you get out of. I'm hoping people. I'm gonna make a few videos like this, try to explain to people, because I got to really seriously dumb down most of these so that people here on YouTube will understand it. And I'd say the vast majority of my listeners are probably not New Agers. Like I said, I call myself a New Ager. I was raised Christian, so I kind of exist in both worlds. Let's see. Let me get to Dick Sutphin. Now, you can look him up. He's got videos here on YouTube. He did have something, some type of practice here in the Phoenix area, and he moved up to Sedona. I don't know if he's still around or not, because he was up in years pretty good. He did have, he may be around and just not be doing anything, but he did have, some meditation groups, astral projection, meetup groups, maybe past life regression, where he would regress a whole room full of people. He used to do that here in Phoenix. I think he's still doing that in Sedona. If he's still alive, he is. He's got some, meditation stuff that you can download. They're 10, $15. There's several people that have, and there's a bunch of stuff on here on YouTube if you want, astral projection, past life regression, that you can just search on YouTube and listen to those. And they vary, but you're getting it for free. Let's see. Let me cover off those the two twin daughters. If one of them wants to meet up with me, and we make some videos. Again, we'd sit down and figure out what we're gonna, what the video would be like, and if we're both in agreement with it, we could do something. Or maybe one of your two chicks have been through a few boyfriends and looking for another guy. And I remember you were close to my age, maybe 10 years, one way or the other. We'd want to meet up and make a few videos together before, or some collab videos of one type or another before we do anything, beyond that. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. I think I've covered everything. I'm gonna make future videos. Now the middle pillar, circulation white light, that's here. That's been practiced for hundreds of years. I was practiced by the Golden Dawn. That's certainly here on YouTube. I've covered that a bunch of times. If anybody's got any questions, post up in here. Like I said, there's got to be people looking at this like it's witchcraft or black magic. It's not. It's just something people have done for hundreds of years. Okay, love y'all. Bye-bye.